Madeley and Matthew McNulty, who play Kate and Steve in the series. It all looks so pretty and lovely and perfect, and that's it really, isn't it? Because it's not.
Perfect setting for a tragedy, I suppose. Yeah, and I guess that's the crux of the show, that all is not what it seems on the surface, within the community, within the families, and within the individuals as well.
So who's who? So David Tennant we saw there. So you play...
I play David Tennant's wife.
And he's the local GP.
He's the local GP.
Pillar of the community,
yeah.
all-round lovely guy.
And they're all at the heart of the community, actually, the four main characters. So Tom, as you say, is the GP. My character is a primary school teacher, so they know the local people intimately in that sense. And Matthew plays Steve, who's a local policeman, and Kush is a fellow teacher with me at the school. He plays Jess. And... yeah, so they really are in the heart of that community. They know all the families, they're known by all the families. So when this tragedy hits, it really affects everybody. It has a big ripple through their community.
Who's responsible within that community? You know, like it could be anyone, I suppose, and it's unpicking the community, unpicking the people, and yeah, just.
Because I think Daisy Coulomber is really interested in not just doing the whodunit, but looking at the motivations and the psychology behind why this event happened, that it is a tragedy, and not just being hooked by who was it them, but actually getting to know all those characters.
Now,
really
we've been
well.
talking quite a bit this morning about mental health on the programme, and there is a theme within this, isn't it? Because your character, it emerges, you know, is not quite what she seems on the face of it, and equally well, a police officer who's involved in a major trauma,
yeah,
you know, has to deal with that as well.
Yeah, I suppose people within these communities that are revered, and they put on, I suppose they put on an armour, and especially a police officer, Steve. So I suppose they create these shells, but then underneath there's a lot going on. There's a lot of mental health
And
issues.
it's told in quite an interesting way, isn't it? It's not told chronologically.
No, it's
How
not.
do you keep track of that?
Well, I cheated slightly because when we originally got the script, because we're on two timelines, so my character we know dies quite early on, so that's not spoiling anything. But we learn about her, we get to meet her through flashbacks. So for my part, the office very kindly sent me the script in actual chronological order, because as we watch the show, we jump in time. But for me to sort of plot Kate's story out properly, I needed it in real order. So
And you literally took the whole place over, is that right?
We did slightly, yeah.
And so the locals,
They were very
we saw
generous.
kind of a dance scene there. Were locals involved? Were they sort of extras? Were they having parts to
Well,
play?
it was all Scottish crew up there, and
yeah, when we were shooting in Dunlop, the village,
Yeah.
most of I guess
All
I'd
the
say
children
75%
from local
of the
schools.
village came and
Yeah.
were extras. So and they were great. They were really welcoming, and it's
yeah, we had a really good
a lovely
time.
place to film.
And tell me, how did you manage, I haven't seen the end of it, but how did you manage the ending? Because I believe that when you were filming, you didn't all know what the outcome was going to be.
Well, I did.
I heard that some of the, I heard that the ending was
to
kept.
talk about the ending. 'Cause,
No, some of the crew didn't know
Right,
where it was
okay.
going to go.
Quite obviously, you had to be hugely secretive about.
You're being
Yeah.
so careful now.
Yeah.
Then it's like the mind is whirring, going, what can I say, what can I not say?
Yeah, because you don't want to spoil it for people watching, because it does unfold. It is much more complex than you might initially think, and that's the juice of it. That's the fun of it.
Well, let me
for
ask you a
us,
simpler
so.
question to avoid all controversy. Midges, when were you filming? Were you in
were a
peak
part of
midge
it.
season? It's June, isn't it? It kicks in June.
Yeah, and we're
it's
around the
whenever
forest.
Yeah, when
as
you're near
well.
water as well.
Yeah.
And they do eat you up.
That lethal
The way it works
spray
is that
you
some
get out.
people get bitten a lot more than others, right? So
Yeah.
is it right that you
I
were
felt like I
particularly...
had chicken pox because
No.
I was just getting bitten to death all the time. But you know, you get used to it once you've
It's
been there a while. You're
flattering in a way.
distracted all the time. You know. Yeah,
They
yeah.
have to cover it up in makeup, presumably, if you're getting bitten a lot.
Yeah.
Just sprayed a lot of bug
A lot
spray.
of that lethal, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And how important is, we're seeing that in the screens behind us, this beautiful location. How much a part of the drama is this
It's
beautiful
a
place?
huge part of it, because it's absolutely stunningly beautiful. It's breathtaking, and but also where they live is a very small community, and it's quite remote. So it has that sense of intimacy and warmth, but also there is the loneliness of the the fact that you are remote, you are far away from the outside world in a way, and especially where Kate and Tom live. You go up. They built this amazing house for us to film in, and you went up this country road track, and suddenly right by the forest was this beautiful house. So, yeah, it does both those things. It's incredibly beautiful and homely, and also far away from...
But I think it relates to the people as well, like the isolation in the setting is there amongst the communities and the families, so it is relatable to people who live in cities. You know, you create your own communities and you create your own walls, and I guess that's what this show is about, you know.
I tell you what, the bar is set very high these days for dramas, crime dramas particularly. You know, we've had so many amazing productions, some of them set in the Highlands, for example. There've been series set there as well. You know, the standards are really high now, aren't they?
They are.
Have you got
It's
particular
exciting.
favourites from the past that you're allowed to say? I mean...
Oh, crikey.
What, on this show?
No, I mean, you know, crime dramas.
Oh,
I
right.
mean, you know...
Just the obvious ones, really, like The Wire set the bar, didn't it? And
The Wire was fabulous, yeah.
But I guess this is a little bit like the Scandi noir dramas.
But I think it's also, what I love that it's the psychological truths of them are becoming stronger
feels
and
like this has
stronger.
got-
They're really juicy.
It's got a lot of the ingredients of those kind of dramas, but it does feel very different. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
Wow.
It's very compelling. Deadwater Fell, thank you very much. Good to see you
Thank
both
you.
this morning. Deadwater Fell begins on Friday, the 10th of January at 9 p.m.
We're back tomorrow from 6.